Welcome to Dogs Info. They are pressed heavily against your side, breathing in perfect rhythm with you. You probably think your dog just wants a warm, soft mattress. You are completely wrong. Canine behaviorists have discovered that when your dog chooses your bed over their own, they are actually acting on ancient biological survival instincts. Today, we are peeling back the layers of this nightly ritual to reveal 7 powerful secret reasons your dog sleeps beside you. This is not about physical comfort. It is a profound, silent message of devotion. Pay close attention to reason number 4. It will shatter everything you thought you knew about your best friend. Let's start with the oldest, most primal reason of all. Reason number 1. It is a survival instinct permanently etched into their DNA. Long before your dog had a cute name, a nylon collar, or an expensive memory foam bed with their initials embroidered on it, their ancient ancestors slept in a very specific tactical way. They slept in tight, huddled circles, nose to tail, with their physical bodies pressed tightly together, and one ear always swiveling to listen to the dark woods. In the harsh, unforgiving wild, physical isolation meant certain death. Survival meant staying incredibly close to the pack because out there in the freezing darkness, anything could happen. The pack was the only shield against predators and the unknown. That deep-seated instinct hasn't miraculously vanished just because they now live in a secure house with central heating. No matter how cozy your living room is or how many squeaky toys are in their basket, dogs are biologically hardwired to sleep exactly where they feel the most physically secure. And when your domestic dog presses their spine firmly up against you at night, that is their ancient primal brain speaking. It is silently saying, "This is my pack. This is where I am absolutely safe." There is actually fascinating new science to back this up. A major 2024 veterinary study on canine attachment found that dogs who are deeply emotionally bonded to their humans spend significantly more time in deep restorative REM sleep when they are sleeping in direct physical contact with their owners. This is the specific kind of sleep that physically heals the brain and body. It means that when your dog chooses your mattress, they aren't just looking for a soft place to rest. They are finally completely letting their guard down. They are officially turning off the hypervigilant sentry mode that they carry around all day long. Now, let's talk about something even more powerful than ancient instinct. Let's talk about conscious choice. Reason number 2. It is their physical way of saying, "I trust you with my life." You probably didn't ask them to come up on the bed. You didn't train them to do it with treats. But one night, they did it anyway. Quietly, without making a single sound, they climbed up, circled once to check the perimeter, and curled heavily into the crook of your knees. That moment, whether it happened a month after you adopted them or after years of them sleeping on the floor, meant something incredibly profound. You see, in the animal kingdom, choosing to sleep next to another living being is a massive biological risk. Because in sleep, you are entirely vulnerable. You are completely defenseless. So, when a dog actively chooses to sleep beside you, it is not just a comfortable routine. It is a bold declaration. They are physically saying, "I trust you completely to watch over me while I am powerless." There is incredible, undeniable biology at work here, too. When dogs feel emotionally close and secure with a human, their brains release a massive surge of oxytocin, widely known as the love hormone. It is the exact same chemical hormone that bonds a human mother to her newborn baby. It is what makes them let out a deep sigh when you pet them. It is what makes them melt heavily into your chest after a long, stressful day. That isn't just basic comfort seeking. That is biology screaming, "You are my ultimate safe place." And just wait until you hear what is really happening when your dog insists on lying directly on your pillow. It is absolutely not about the fluffiness of the feathers. It is about something far more primal. Reason number 3. Your bed smells exactly like home to them. We humans tend to think of comfort purely as tactile softness, high thread counts, weighted blankets, and physical warmth. But to your dog, whose entire universe is painted in complex smells, comfort is strictly olfactory. It is all about scent. And scent is the One thing in their world that absolutely never lies. Your unique human smell is exactly how they find you in a crowded park. It is how they know instantly when you are sad or when you are sick. And yes, it is exactly how they choose where to sleep. A team of canine researchers recently conducted an amazing experiment where they gave dogs two identical beds, the exact same shape, the same material, and the same softness. But one bed carried the owner's natural scent on an unwashed t-shirt and one didn't. Overwhelmingly, the dogs actively chose the bed that smelled exactly like their person. Not because it was softer and not because it was warmer, but because it felt like you. When your dog deliberately lays their heavy head on your pillow or nestles their wet nose deeply into the corner of your duvet, they are doing much more than seeking a soft spot. They are actively surrounding themselves with your biological presence. Your scent clearly tells them that you are near even when you are unconscious. It physically calms their racing heartbeat. It slows their breathing rate. It lets them sleep with both eyes fully closed for once. This matters even more for rescue dogs or those suffering from severe separation anxiety. They have known terrifying instability. They have known the bitter fear of abandonment. And when they finally, snorts, find you, they absolutely do not want to let that scent go. That is why you will often find them happily curled up in your dirty laundry pile. It isn't about cleanliness. It is purely about connection. This brings us to a reason that is very often overlooked, but it speaks directly to the noble, loyal heart of a dog. Reason number 4, they are actively guarding you. We very often think of our dogs as our babies, fragile creatures that we desperately need to protect from the world. But in their minds, the roles are frequently reversed. To your dog, you are the absolute most valuable resource in the entire universe. You are the ultimate provider of food, love, and safety. You are the undisputed leader of the pack, and the leader must be fiercely protected at all costs. Have you ever noticed that your dog usually sleeps facing the bedroom door? Or maybe they purposefully position themselves at the very foot of the bed, creating a physical barrier between you and the hallway. This is absolutely not an accident. This is canine military strategy. In a wild pack, the members don't just sleep in a random disorganized pile. They position themselves highly tactically. The most vulnerable, weakest members sleep safely in the center, and the fierce guardians sleep on the outer perimeter. By actively choosing the foot of the bed or the side directly facing the door, your dog is deliberately placing themselves between you and any potential threat that might dare to come in the night. They are acting as the vigilant guardian at the gate. Even in deep snoring sleep, their highly sensitive ears are attuned to the normal sounds of the house. If a floorboard suddenly creaks, or if a strange car pulls into your driveway at midnight, they will definitely be the first to know. They are voluntarily taking the night shift so that you can rest peacefully. It is a silent nightly act of service that goes largely unnoticed, but it is one of the most profound ways they show their absolute devotion. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful physical reasons your dog seeks you out each and every night. It has to do with biology, but also with mutual healing. Reason number 5, your body heat acts as physical medicine. Have you ever noticed how, no matter the season, your dog always finds the warmest possible spot in the room and refuses to move? Sometimes it is a bright sunbeam on the rug. Sometimes it is right next to the buzzing space heater. But most often, it is right pressed up next to you. That isn't just basic comfort seeking. That is brilliant biology at work. Dogs naturally run a bit hotter than humans do with their normal body temperature sitting around 101 to 102.5 degrees Fahrenheit. But what most people completely fail to realize is that warmth for a dog isn't just about physical temperature. It is about emotional regulation. Your body heat actively calms their nervous system. It helps them physically settle down and stops them from expending their own vital energy trying to keep warm. Fascinating research from major universities has clearly shown that close physical contact, like cuddling a dog in bed, massively lowers cortisol levels in both the human and the dog simultaneously. It creates a beautiful biological feedback loop of calm. When your dog curls tightly against you, they feel intensely safe. And whether you consciously notice it or not, your body reacts, too. Your blood pressure drops significantly. Your breathing naturally slows down to match theirs. This is incredibly powerful for dogs recovering from severe trauma. Just the steady warmth of a trusted human can heal psychological wounds that training never could. This naturally leads us to a beautiful biological concept known as co-regulation. Reason number 6, they are physically syncing their biological rhythm with yours. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and realized that you and your dog are breathing in perfect identical unison, or that you both shifted your sleeping positions at the exact same time? This is the invisible rhythm of the pack. Dogs are intensely social animals that rely entirely on biological synchrony to survive in the wild. A pack must move together, eat together, and sleep together. Being out of sync with the pack means being left behind to die. By sleeping in your bed, your dog is actively intentionally aligning their internal biological clock with yours. When you finally settle down and turn off the lamp, they settle down. When you wake up, they wake up. This powerful synchronization creates a deep psychological sense of belonging. For dogs struggling with severe anxiety, this physical mirroring is incredibly therapeutic. Your steady heartbeat and deep rhythmic breathing act exactly like a soothing metronome for their chaotic nervous system. By pressing their heavy body against yours, they can literally feel your vital signs, actively using your calm, steady state to physically regulate their own racing anxiety. It is a profound nonverbal way of them saying, "I am with you in absolutely every breath." But here is the part that surprises dog owners the most. Sometimes your dog doesn't sleep next to you because they physically need something from you. Sometimes it is because they have actively chosen something vastly better than their own comfort. Reason number 7. Your bed represents love, not just softness. Think about it. You bought them the incredibly fancy, expensive dog bed. You spent good money on thick orthopedic foam, raised supportive sides, and a soft, plush cover. It is objectively the most physically comfortable spot in the entire house. But every single night, like clockwork, they completely ignore it. They jump onto your mattress, lay there, heavy head on your pillow, press their back firmly against your spine, and you wonder why. Because your bed is infinitely more than a simple mattress to them. It is exactly where you are, and where you are feels exactly like love. Dogs are highly territorial creatures, not in the aggressive, possessive way we sometimes fear, but in a deeply emotional sense. In the wild, they chose their sleeping spots incredibly carefully, ones that kept them safely close to the pack, with clear sightlines and heavy scent markers. That screamed, "This is my safe space." Now, your bed is that sacred space. They are not just drawn to it for the thread count. They are drawn to it for identity and deep connection. When they lie heavily on your sheets, your pillow, and your blanket, they are participating in something profoundly shared. And for many owners, maybe even for you, that is exactly where the bond becomes totally unspoken. You didn't have to ask them to come up. You didn't pat the mattress. But one night, they just appeared quiet and calm. They chose your space, and they absolutely never left. So, now you finally know the truth. When your dog curls up heavily next to you every single night, it is not just about the softness of the duvet. It is not just about escaping the cold floor. It is deeply rooted instinct. It is ancestral memory. It is complex biology. But, most of all, it is profound unconditional love. That specific spot on the bed is a bold statement. It means, this is exactly where I am safe, and this is exactly who I belong to. Think back to the very first night they stayed beside you. The night they finally stopped frantically pacing the room, stopped nervously checking the bedroom door, and stopped flinching at every passing car outside. The night they let out a deep trembling sigh, and completely sank into sleep beside you. That moment wasn't about obedience training. It wasn't about finding a warm spot. That was about absolute trust. Unwavering loyalty, and maybe even a little bit of mutual healing on both sides. Because maybe, just maybe, you needed them just as much as they needed you. And here is the beautiful thing about dogs. They absolutely do not fake it. they do not pretend. When they actively choose to be physically close, it is entirely real. No hidden games, no weird conditions, just pure presence. Not everyone is lucky enough to be chosen by a dog like that. But, if your dog sleeps beside you night after night, no matter the weather, no matter how small the bed is, you were chosen. And that is absolutely not a small thing. So, I would love to know, where does your dog sleep? Have they always curled up close to you, or was it something they slowly grew into as your bond deepened? What is their name? Please drop a comment below and share your story with us. Tell us your dog's name and describe your nightly ritual. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, share please.